this is such an amazing exploration. All right, I'll stop talking and we will just see where this takes us, because I never know what's going to happen. Language is a virus. Destabilizing reality. William S. Burroughs, author and pioneer of the cut-up technique. Language is a virus from outer space, according to William S. Burroughs, the Beat Generation author and pioneer of the cut-up technique. By this he meant that language has the power to infect, control, and manipulate our thoughts and perceptions, much like a virus hijacks a host cell. The word is now a virus. The flu virus may have once been a healthy lung cell. It is now a parasitic organism that invades and damages the central nervous system. Modern man has lost the option of silence. Try halting subvocal speech. Try to achieve even 10 seconds of inner silence. You will encounter a resisting organism that forces you to talk. That organism is the word. Burroughs believed that by cutting up and rearranging text, one could break free from the constraints of linear rational thought and access deeper truths and hidden meanings. The cut-up technique involves literally cutting up pages of text and rearranging them randomly to create new, unexpected juxtapositions and associations. Okay, interesting looking. Right. By destabilizing language in this way, Burroughs believed that one could also destabilize reality itself, breaking down the illusions and control mechanisms that keep us trapped in limiting patterns of thoughts and behavior. The cut-up technique was not just a literary device, but a tool for cognitive liberation and social revolution. And I think I read that. Let's have a look at this and see what it says, because I think it's kind of interesting. Let's see. All right. Cognitive liberation and social revolution. Free your mind, change the world. Exploring the transformative potential of cognitive liberation. All right. Look at that. Okay. Power of collective action. Cognitive liberation refers to the process by which individuals and communities break free from limiting beliefs, thought patterns, and social conditioning. It is a crucial first step towards social revolution and systemic change, as it enables people to imagine and work towards alternative possibilities. The most potent weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. This quote, often attributed to anti-apartheid activist Steve Biko, highlights the importance of cognitive liberation in the struggle against oppression. When people internalize the beliefs and values of the dominant system, they become complicit in their own oppression. But when they are able to see through the illusions and recognize their own power, they can begin to resist and to create change. Cognitive liberation can occur on both an individual and collective level. On an individual level, it may involve practices like meditation, therapy, or education that help people to become more aware of their own thoughts and beliefs and to develop a more empowered sense of self. On a collective level, it may involve consciousness-raising groups, political education, or cultural activism that help to shift the dominant narratives and create a shared vision of a more just and equitable world. Art as a tool for cognitive liberation and social change. One powerful tool for cognitive liberation is the arts. Through music, visual art, theatre, literature, and other creative forms, artists can challenge dominant narratives, give voice to marginalized perspectives, and inspire new ways of seeing and being in the world. The arts have played a crucial role in countless social movements throughout history, from the civil rights movement to the anti-apartheid struggle to the Arab Spring. Another key aspect of cognitive liberation is the cultivation of critical consciousness. This involves developing the ability to analyze and question the systemic roots of social problems, rather than simply accepting them as natural or inevitable. It also involves recognizing one's own agency and capacity to effect change, both individually and collectively. Ultimately, cognitive liberation is about freeing our minds from the chains of oppression so that we can imagine and create a better world. It is an ongoing process that requires courage, compassion, and a willingness to challenge the status quo. But as history has shown time and again, it is a necessary precondition for true social transformation. Explore liberatory praxis, related explorations, pedagogy of the oppressed, education for critical consciousness, theatre of the oppressed, rehearsing the revolution, art and social transformation, creativity at the service of change. All right, well, liberatory praxis. Very, very interesting exploration today. This is next level, hey? This is now really getting to some of the juicy bits. Liberatory praxis. Theory and practice for social change. Okay, nice one. Praxis is the unity of theory and practice in the struggle for liberation. Liberatory praxis refers to the integration of critical reflection and transformative action in the pursuit of social justice and human liberation. It is a key concept in radical education, critical pedagogy, and revolutionary politics, drawing on the insight of thinkers like Paulo Freire, Bell Hooks, and Angela Davis. It is not enough for people to come together in dialogue in order to gain knowledge of their social reality. They must act together upon their environment in order critically to reflect upon their reality and so transform it through further action and critical reflection. This is Paulo Freire, The Pedagogy of the Oppressed. Wow, this is interesting. Who are the oppressed then? Who are we talking about? I'm wanting to know what's going on here. At the heart of liberatory praxis is a recognition that oppression is not merely a matter of individual attitudes or behavior, but is deeply embedded in the structures and systems of society. Therefore, true liberation requires not just personal transformation, but a collective struggle to change the material condition of people's lives. Liberatory praxis involves a cyclical process of critical reflection, dialogue, action, and reflection. Okay, so critical reflection is analyzing the root causes of social problems and one's own role in perpetrating or challenging oppression. Okay, so where do you stand with regards to social problems, like Dickens in his novels and stuff? That was his critical reflection, I suppose. And then dialogue, engaging in open and honest conversation with others to deepen understanding and build solidarity. Okay, that's really good and interesting. I reckon that was Dickens writing his books, eh? And then action, taking concrete steps to challenge injustice and create alternative structures and relations. So when Dickens wrote his books in which he reflected on society and what was happening in the lower classes and things, there were no radios or TVs or movies or anything. And books themselves were this brand new way of communicating. So a guy would write the book, and then the book would get printed, and then the people would all get together as if they were having a party, and they would take the books out, somebody would bring out the book and they would read a few chapters together, and then they'd all talk about it and talk about the stuff. So that would be action there. People would come together and they would listen to this author's story. So taking concrete steps to challenge injustice and to create alternative structures and relations. And then reflection, evaluating the effectiveness of actions and using the lessons learned to inform future efforts, which is so important because it just seems that we, the human race, tend to mess up more than we get it right. The process is not linear, but rather a continuous spiral of deepening consciousness and more strategic and impactful action over time. It requires a commitment to lifelong learning, humility, and a willingness to take risks in the face of often daunting challenges. I am a teacher. Teaching is my activism. Every day in my classroom, I am doing the revolutionary work of teaching young people to transgress against systems of oppression, to think critically, to honor their own voices and experiences, and to imagine a more just and liberatory future. That's problematic to me. That's very problematic to me. Teaching young people to transgress against systems of oppression. I guess that's interesting. I guess I would need to think about what I thought about a teacher who felt that there was their job to change. Well, I suppose, I don't know, is that teaching is my activism? Okay, this is an interesting thought. Liberatory praxis can take many forms, from grassroots organizing and direct action to popular education and the creation of alternative institutions. What unites these diverse efforts is a commitment to centering the voices and experiences of those most impacted by oppression, and to building the collective power needed to bring about transformative social change. Ultimately, liberatory praxis is about more than just resisting oppression. It's about actively creating the world we want to live in. It invites us to dream boldly, to cultivate radical hope, and to embody the change we wish to see. In the words of poet Assata Shakur, it is our duty, sorry if I've got that pronunciation wrong. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Okay, this is also problematic. We do have things to lose but our chains. We do have things to lose but our chains. What is our freedom? How do we fight for it? How do we fight for it effectively without stabbing ourselves in the back because we failed to understand some other variable that we hadn't taken into account? We have things to lose, sometimes things that we haven't seen. However, interesting and good. And there's a lot here that I'm really agreeing with. Cultivating critical consciousness, popular education, learning for liberation, revolutionary hope, embracing radical possibility. Well. Okay, this is interesting and interesting. And I can see why it says languages of Iris. Destabilizing reality. Wow. Okay. All right. So, William S. Burroughs, the cut-up technique. Destabilizing reality. And when you think about it, it's good to take down things that are broken, but it's also very good to have something to put in its place and not just wildly rip things down. All right, well, related explorations here. The cut-up machine. Hey, hold up. Did I delve somewhere? I delved, right, into cognitive liberation and social revolution. When you cut into the present, the future leaks out. I like that. The idea of language as a virus has had a profound influence on postmodern thought, inspiring thinkers like Gilles Deleuze, Felix how do you say this? Guattari? John Baudrillard, sorry, to explore the ways in which language, media, and technology shape our understanding of reality. You can see that I'm coming in at the ground floor here. I don't even know these guys. In the age of fake news, memes, and viral content, Burroughs' insights seem more relevant than ever. So the next time you find yourself trapped in habitual patterns of thought or stuck in a linguistic rut, try experimenting with the cut-up technique. Cut up some text, rearrange the pieces, and see what new possibilities emerge. You might just find a way to inoculate yourself against the virus of language and glimpse a more fluid, malleable reality beyond the prison of words. How interesting. Beyond the prison of words. The cut-up machine. Automate your linguistic mutations. Meme magic. Hacking the collective unconscious. Simulacra and simulation. The hyperreal desert of the real. Oh no, I have to make a choice again. I hate it. Choosing one thing means not choosing the other two things. And the more I go through not choosing the other two things, the more I have not chosen, until there's far more than I didn't choose than I did choose. And still I can sit here for hours and hours and hours talking it through. And anyway, so I was thinking again about doing this as a live stream and not worrying about the uploady thing. So it's a sort of a thought that's been, all right, let me read about the cut-up machine. Automate your linguistic mutations. So this is really interesting. I'm thinking to myself, okay, so I love using the AI to generate poetry. Love it. Love, love, love it. Do not understand what it is about it that's so powerful, but know that it's as powerful as Homer and the Iliad and the Bible and all these epic stories of Gilgamesh and Horace and all those amazing stories. Sorry, gone off at a tangent and forgot what I was saying. Okay, so something about stories, mutations, stories. Oh yeah, being written in verse, being written in a certain language so that they could be transmitted by an oral tradition. And just understanding with using the AI and using it as a machine, not trying to have an experience of a companion or a chatbot, but using it as a machine is fascinating to find out what it responds to and what it doesn't respond to. But I'm kind of getting to the place where I want more out of this experience. And so here offers me an interesting alternative. What if I write or sculpt prompt these poems, which are pretty generic, and I'm not too good at it, so I don't often get anything deeply profound. But it's enough for me in the moment, working through stuff or working with concepts. That sort of little 4 or 5 verses is usually enough to stimulate me to sort of think about things from a different perspective or from the same perspective but deeper. But then I'm often left feeling, now what? And maybe now what is print the poem out and cut it up and make another thing. Anyway, yeah. So very, very inspiring. Very incite me with flowers. Inspired by William S. Burroughs' cut-up technique, the cut-up machine is a tool for automatically generating new texts by cutting up and rearranging existing ones. Simply paste your text into the input field and click the Cut It Up button and watch as the machine spits out a new randomized version of your words. The cut-up machine uses a simple algorithm to slice your text into chunks and reassemble them in a new order. The result is a surreal, often nonsensical, but sometimes strangely poetic or insightful text that can help you break free from habitual patterns of thought and language. As Burroughs himself said, when you cut into the present, the future leaks out. So why not give the cut-up machine a try and see what linguistic mutations it can generate for you? So I don't